A client of ours, Sally, was appointed the new brand director. She had inherited a brand that was in trouble. Sales were disappointing. No one really knew why, least of all the brand director she was called in to replace. Sally knew that it was going to take a long time for any action that she took promotionally to change the deflection positively for the sales of her brand. So she had a short time to diagnose what was wrong and make a plan. Sally called ZS. We were able to work with Sally and identify several areas that could definitely be improved. For one, the targeting plan wasn't optimal. For another, the incentive plan for the sales force was not at all aligned with the behavioral objectives that we had in mind. But our work with Sally's customers unearthed a much, much deeper problem. We found a fundamental mismatch between the reality of how customers were making their decisions and what Sally and other parts of our organization thought was really going on in the marketplace. It turned out that the benefit that they were going out with was one that was very short-term in nature and, quite frankly, very abstract and not well understood by a lot of her customers. Worse, it was actually just imitating the strategy of the first-to-market competitor who had already gone out with a similar value proposition, and, quite frankly, their sales weren't that good either. We worked with Sally's medical and regulatory teams to review all the information that was available. We could also see that there was an emerging view about how this particular viral disease worked, and it really changed the picture. We thought maybe there's a longer-term benefit that we can identify. Maybe that benefit's real. Let's go out and test it with some of the customers. We talked to key physicians, and it really resonated with them. Yeah, longer term rather than short term, and really a higher value benefit. We worked with Sally and her team to then sharply revise the promotional plan and create new capabilities that they needed. There were a whole set of accounts that operated that market under a completely different set of rules than they'd really understood at the outset. We worked with her team then to develop new skills, new capabilities, train their people, and enable them to engage in a much more longer-term and deeper value-added dialogue with these key accounts. Through that dialogue, they were able to establish so much value that eventually, even in the tight economic times that Sally was facing, they were able to raise price. If you look at the challenges that Sally faced, they're endemic to our industry. Overcoming the silos, driving the strategy into execution, that's what ZS does. We call it marketing that works. How can we help?